certainly allowed to help, Nate. I'm not looking to bogart all the video footage with my gut.
We can both have our guts involved.
Right. Even further than I did. I always get the bottom wrong.
Yeah, this was a little different from mine.
Because it's... Yeah, the door has to fit there somewhere. Let's pull it down so it's tight from the top. And go behind the frame. Just
yep, that works better. This comes with an extra arm.
What's up?
You're gonna have to let us in through the garage now, though, or we're gonna do the crawl of shame.
You wanna crawl through there?
Uh-huh. Crawl of shame, baby. I don't know if I'm gonna fit.
Got it? Corbett would have put us both to shame. Through the door anyway.
I just throw it, I stick my head through and I throw it sideways, is how I do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it's much easier to do once it's there. I don't like leaving it laying because I always end up leaving it 6 inches further and you have to go through the door anyway. Yeah. You got all the cams set? You do the left side one, I didn't do the left.
Yeah. We will see, right?
Oh, I pulled it out for you. Okay, I got it.
It's literally called a condom.
I believe so. It's not the technical term, but
Sorry.
That's a little bit easier to put in. This is actually a little bit nicer setup. I haven't
can
actually
you tweak it up a little higher so it makes sure that it's off the frame below?
Oh, sure. That's interesting. I leave mine touching, so.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't think it matters. It's just sort of a, I don't want it to vibrate and make noise and shit. Is my perspective. The condom's supposed, or it's supposed to. So part of our interest in waiting until 1 o'clock is that we've got a new gauge that is not going to show up until sometime today. I ordered a new gauge for the blower door and asked for it to be overnight shipped, and it is supposed to show up today before we go to the client's house.
Rather than yesterday, because it didn't end up being overnight.
Yeah.
Keeping it on.
Mm-hmm. You were screwing around with my door.
I was.
I think that's the 2000, not the 3000. And I am
full open, I think, right now. Yeah.
C8. What is 1851 with an 8-foot ceiling for volume? I don't remember.
14,808.
So we're gonna go 15,000 just for fun because I've got the vault in my
Yep.
master.
There's easily 200 extra there.
And that's not what I want. We're gonna capture a baseline for the moment. We're going to give it 20 seconds so that we have two 10-second time frames for reference. Okay. Alright.
You're leaving me feeling a little bit inept.
One-handed can make, left or right-handed can make it really awkward to try to push hard on something.
You're not used to it.
Is not having a huge effect on the total, because right now I'm sealed off, except for the one opening.
Okay, yeah.
So if I see a drastic change from 20, I know I've got a crap ton of. We are going to leave that open for the testing.
Mixing Ford and Chevy here. Heathens.
Heathens.
Can't do that. Take that just to annoy the Dosh.
Right.
Pressure flow.
It'll be the same
Probably
hoses.
pressure flow at 25.
It would be the same hose connections that you do normally. Just
here and here.
No communication wire.
Yeah. Well, we'll try it.
Okay.
Once we get yours working, we'll just pull the hoses off of that and stick it on this.
Okay.
And if
That'll
it tells
work
us
too.
the same thing, we know we're probably right.
Yeah. I'm really hopeful that this system works. We're going to be depressurizing the ductwork, or sucking all the air out and measuring how much air comes in with the duct testing equipment.
Yep.
I figure I can just stop talking whenever I'm done with the subject and we can cut it.
Just like. Okay.
So I've done a blower door test on this house, but I didn't do any video footage of it. So what we're going to do here is get a blower door number for total leakage of the house, and then we're going to install the attic zipper, but we're also going to be doing a duct leakage to outside test so that we can see, even though my ductwork is outside the envelope as a majority, we can see how much leakage my ducting plays into the total leakage of the house. That'll work for now.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, now you're just going to make me self-conscious.
I'm happy to do that for you.
Funny.
Well, so we'll both be nervous together.
Yeah.
Okay, do the talk.
All right, we ready?
We are ready.
So I've done a blower door test on this house, but I didn't record it in video. So what I'm trying to do today is get a total leakage of the house, and then we're also testing for the attic zipper install, as well as leakage of the ductwork to the outside of the envelope. We're also looking to do duct leakage to the outside. How did I put it? Anyway. So I've done a blower door test on this house before, but I didn't get any video of it. So what we're doing today is getting a total leakage of the house. We're also going to do a duct leakage to outside test so that we can see how much the leakage affects the total leakage of the house. So the first step is going to be blower door numbers with the duct leakage ducts sealed, and then we're going to run the duct tester to show how much leakage goes outside. And then all of this will come back at the end to show how much the attic zipper changes duct leakage as well as house leakage, and how those numbers are affected.
So you'll understand where the leakage is.
Exactly.
Much better in the house.
Yeah.
So this will be a good diagnostic test today.
I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. All right, so today we're going to be running a blower door test at Stephen's house. And the blower door is the most important tool in the toolkit of a home performance consultant or specialist. So what it measures is how much your house leaks, and most of the problems that you have in your house. So if you have rooms that don't heat or cool well, or you have mold, or I'm from the north, so we have icicles and ice dams after big snowstorms, most of those problems come back to air leakage in the house. So you can cover a lot of things up with HVAC, but oftentimes if you're going to deal with the root cause of a problem, you need to deal with the air leakage in the house. And to be able to deal with the air leakage, you have to measure it and figure out where it's coming from. And this is the tool for doing that. And I should talk about also what we call the 5 priorities of home performance. So when you are going to try and make your house more comfortable, healthy, longer lasting, and efficient, the things you want to do in order are air seal the house, air seal the house, air seal the house, then we'll insulate, and the last thing we deal with is putting in the right HVAC system for the house. And if you do those in order, you'll end up with a very comfortable house that doesn't cost much to operate, that doesn't have moisture problems, and that is very healthy. So that's our goal every time with the project.
So we're going to set pressure for the blower door at 50. And it's going to get a little noisy in here, but what we're looking for is 50 pascals on the top line, and then we're going to compare the CFM leakage that we get to what we had got originally when I did the test without video.
Yep.
So I've got the house at 50 pascals, and we're showing about 1900 CFM leakage, and our original leakage test showed 2114 at basically 50. Now the other shot that we got originally was air changes per hour at 50, and so we're going to show that as a comparative as well. So it would appear that by simply closing off the supply registers in preparation for the duct test, that we have already reduced leakage almost a full point.
Yeah, well, about 10% of the actual leakage. Yeah.
So it would lead to prove that duct leakage in North Carolina can be a big part of improving your overall leakage of your house. And when Nate talks about air seal, air seal, air seal, duct leakage sealing can be one of those continued air sealing processes in the North Carolina market. Speak to what the market in Ohio is specifically.
Well, most of our duct work is hard duct, so it's metal duct, and it's all pretty much inside the house. So if it leaks, it's not the end of the world. You're leaking heat into the house, just in the wrong place than where you want to put it. But the problem is here, if you have ductwork outside the house where it's in your attic, if you have a duct leak of air conditioning into your attic, you really have a double whammy, because not only are you trying to cool the attic rather than cooling the house as you're trying to, but that cool air that's getting sucked out, or that's blowing out, there's more outside air that's getting pulled into the house elsewhere that you then have to dehumidify and cool again. So sealing duct leakage is critical, and it depends where you live, whether it matters or not. So in Cleveland, where I'm from, it doesn't really matter for the most part. It depends on the house, but here in North Carolina and the South in general, where HVAC systems are usually in attics or vented crawl spaces, it's a big deal. So this is a good thing to test for here, where in my market I don't care. I don't own a duct blaster or a duct tester.
So we're going to move forward from this as a comparative number, and we're going to set our pressure down to 25. Okay, so we're going to seek 25, and we're down to about 12% blower speed right now. and we're going to go back to CFM flow so that when we turn on the duct tester next, we will be doing a duct leakage to outside. It will show us a comparative of the amount of leakage that the duct is specifically responsible for. Part of our issue today is that I had ordered an additional gauge for being able to run the door and the duct tester at the same time. And since FedEx hasn't showed up yet, we need to set the door to 25 manually and then move the gauge to the duct testing equipment. So there's a knob here on the side, and we simply turn it until we reach 25 Pascal. I think we've got it balanced out pretty well. We're at about 25 and change, and we're showing a 1200 CFM leakage currently. So all we got to do is unplug the reference tubes and take the gauge up to the duct tester upstairs. Alright, so right now we've got the blower door running at 25, and we are going to do a duct leakage test to outside. We've got all the ducts masked off, and we've got the system set up to depressurize the same as the blower door is depressurizing. And the simplest way to do this is to get your door at 25 and then set pressure on the gauge to 0 and press enter. And then the duct tester will run your Pascal pressure to 0 and will show you what your CFM leakage is. I think we may have a ring problem because I was at 100% fan to get that, and I was at 4,000 CFM,
which doesn't make any sense at all.
Which makes no sense at all. But anytime my blower needs to get to 100% is not a good thing. It makes your test less capable of being accurate. So we've opened up the ring. Oh, that's my problem. I didn't change the device.
Oh.
This is the Duct Tester 240, and since we're open, we'll stay open. So we had a little bit of a setup issue. I forgot to change the device for the control, and so we were running the blower door, not the duct tester. And so now I've got the device set to the proper device. We're on an open setting, and we'll see how that goes. Now, if you just hit set on 0.0, it doesn't do you any good. You have to put 0 and press set, and then the system will operate as it should. I may have to put a ring back in now that I'm on the right motor. We're down to 5.1, 5.0. That's pretty amazing.
That's
minimal leakage.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to switch to the mid-ring to, well, I'll give it a second. I get a little bit hurry up and fix it. But I'm having, it's taking longer to go to 0 than I had anticipated it would possibly do. We're floating around 3, 2.5. Alright, so I'm going to change rings because we're floating at 2.5, and we're not going to get there very easily. The leakage is minimal enough that the system is in need of a little more restrictor plate. Alright, so we've got the mid-ring set. We're going to set pressure back to 0 and give it a few minutes to balance out again. Wow. That's almost worse. Am I doing something wrong? I mean, we're still creeping into the same duct leakage, but we're at 10 Pascal instead of 2.5. And it's ramping up rather than trying to slow down.
This is a curse of where you have a fish out of water because I'm not trained on this piece of equipment.
Right?
We need money. My friend Walter money.
We always need money. What I find interesting is that the fan speed is going up to match, to increase. We're increasing blower speed in an attempt to lower the duct pressure, which, having never done this test before, it seems absolutely counterintuitive. And if your blower has to reach a higher speed to maintain a pressure, that typically means you need a ring, fewer rings. You need less restriction on the blower to be able to reach your number. So open was about what we have.
Yeah. So it looks like it's probably going to hit 100% fan speed before it zeroes it.
Yeah.
So technically you need a ring in between. But the number you got before probably wasn't that far off.
Right.
Because it looks like if it could get there, which I don't know that it's going to, you're still going to get in the 190 to 200 range, something like that.
We're going to open it back up again and give it another chance because I feel like we're going to max out the fan's capacity before we reach 2 Pascal.
Interesting.
Very interesting. Alright, we got the ring back open again. We're going to set pressure to 0. And we're going to give it another chance to do its magic. So right now we've got the blower door at 50 Pascal and we are referencing the attic hatch through the crack in the attic door so that we can see that when the door is at 50, the attic hatch or the attic of the house is 45 to 46 Pascals, so that it means that we're mostly outside in the attic. We've got a very small connection. What this bit of information shows us is that when we install the attic zipper, we will show that the hatch no longer leaks or compare how much it leaks to how much it doesn't. So this information will help us understand what the attic zipper does to seal off the attic hatch opening. We're going to be putting the attic zipper on this hatch to eliminate air leaks that are typical for attic hatches. And what I was noticing, this is my house and this is my attic hatch, but what I was noticing is that on one side I have a little bit of a lip for the door to potentially seal to. On the other side, I've got literally maybe a 32nd of an inch. So even if I wanted to weather strip this door to try to eliminate leaks, the attic zipper is going to do a much better job of sealing it because we're sealing it from the outside. And I believe that we could probably get Nate Adams to agree that air sealing on the outside of the house is far superior to trying to air seal on the sheetrock side of the house. If you can air seal it before the air gets into the house at all, you're going to be better than if you air seal it on the face of the wall or the ceiling. Sometimes that's your only choice on a remodel, but when you can, air sealing at the face that faces outside or the face that is on the outside, you have a better air seal than if you seal the face inside. So I'm going to bring the attic zipper up and get it installed, and then we're going to test blower door leakage for the whole house, and then we're going to reference the same place that we did previously to see if there is any connection of this opening to the outside.
He's thinking he has the Nate Adams here, even though I'm just some idiot from Cleveland who was dumb enough to spend 2 years of his life writing a damn book.
Alright, so I'm going to bring it up, and I'd like to roll for the bring up.
I'm already rolling.
You're still?
Yeah, when do you want me to start? I'm just kidding. I mean, I was, but I'll stop.
Wider than the hatch.
Where's that corner back there?
Probably better to actually leave that even then.
Grab a corner.
What works best.
Alright. Okay, so we're going to start by throwing a couple of tacks on the outer rim. Just to give it a positioning. So we're going to hit the construction adhesive under this rim here.
Yep.
And then staple it again closer to the edge. And we'll get the backside here in a little bit.
And you're ready to rock.
These, just for fun, these straps are intended for bat insulation. If you wanted to, you could either that or board.
Yeah.
To be able to give it more.
That's actually really nice.
Insulation.
Getting the insulation on the other brand is a lot harder.
Yeah.
So that's a nice feature.
So how do I close this? Do I just zip you guys out?
Yeah, zip.
So we got the caulking, the construction adhesive caulking under the corner of the vertical section here, and then we went around and hit staples in that line, and then just for good measure I went ahead and rubbed in the adhesive to make sure that it seals up. And then once you're done, you pick up your tools. And you say, and you say goodbye. If you're interested in an attic zipper and you don't have a pull-down staircase in your house, they do offer a square or different shaped option if you've just got a scuttle hole in the ceiling, so that you can also get the benefits of air sealing your attic hatch. So you have the choice. Really?
So that should be either 0 or 50.
Right.
In the middle is not where we want it to be. So
Right.
it's a lot better than it was, but that's not a good number. So it needs more caulk, is
Right.
what it needs. We can recreate this later. And we got 45 here. It was, I could watch you turn it up.
Yeah.
It was,
As it increases.
I don't get to see that, so it was cool to hear somebody else do it. So what you're saying is the juice isn't... Air sealing is some kind of annoying work sometimes. Okay, so I stuck that down.
I did not expect I would need a second tube of caulking, and I don't think I actually do, but I may need to do some editing of the flange back here to get it to go down, maybe. No, it's just caught on the
Ah, there you go.
rafter.